Today's short video is going to be all about caffeine and why I have decided that you guys need to reduce the coffee intake and the benefits from it. As you can see, I'm sitting in my car because I've just got home from work, and rather than going inside to what will be absolute chaos, I thought, as you guys are probably aware of it with your own households as well, I thought I'd quickly put this video together now. And so let's jump into it really quickly. Coffee, I'm not 100% against coffee. I think coffee is good. I think it has its place. I drink coffee myself, not very much, but I do drink coffee, and there is some good things about it, such as the coffee bean is a good antioxidant and it can be a really good stimulant, especially around training. So there are some benefits. I'm not demonizing completely. It's just the abuse and the overuse of caffeine that I think we need to control, because what happens is when you have a coffee, you are going to stimulate your adrenal glands and you're going to stimulate adrenaline. By itself is totally fine, but once we compound that with multiple coffees and multiple stresses in our life, what we have is this chronic elevation of adrenaline, which increases your cortisol levels, and this chronically elevated cortisol response that occurs. And when we have chronically elevated cortisol, that's going to throw off your circadian rhythm. It can affect immune function, it can affect musculoskeletal responses, it can affect body composition responses and results. And so with chronically elevated cortisol, the flow and effect that has is something that we want to control best we can. So think of your day like this. Say you had a terrible night's sleep, and because your kids were crying or whatever reason, you had a terrible night's sleep, so you're already stressed out. You wake up in the morning and then you have some sort of food that your body could be sensitive to, or your kid's screaming, so you're stressed about that. And then you jump in the car and there's traffic, so that stresses you out. You get to work and your boss is on your tail because you've arrived late, and then you can't get to the meeting on time, then you have a stressful meeting. So you've got all these stresses, and then we have a coffee on top of that. And then you get back to work and you've got a deadline you got to meet, so you're stressing about that, and then you have another coffee on top of that, and maybe you've even had that coffee before you left the house as well, which most people have. So now you've had 3 coffees on top of a really stressful period anyway, and this happens day after day after day. Then we've got wear and tear on your adrenal glands that leads down the track of all these cascading negative effects. So that's why at this stage you want to reduce the caffeine intake, and then bring it back in slowly, and I would go 1-2 max per week black coffees, because we're trying to keep dairy out at this point as well. And one extra thing I will say about cortisol is cortisol's preferred place to store body fat on your body is as your stomach, as your umbilical skin fold site. And so if you notice that you're getting this belly fat, a lot of the time it can be due to elevated cortisol throughout the body. And so that's just one way we can start to reduce the cortisol effect.